Hey, what's up team? Grindworks here. In just a minute, we're going to pull the car into the garage and then we'll get started on our first tutorial with the Paracord steering wheel wrap for our patrol car. See you in a minute.
Seems I can't remember when there's been a mile of road that I didn't have to wonder when it would explode, and I can't get...
Alright, so I got the car pulled in the garage, about to start. This will be my second wrap, but my first doing the pattern that I'm at least envisioning in my head. And I'll probably do a two-tone wrap with either black across the top to try to keep it cleaner and then blue accents on the side. I might change it once I get started, but we get it all set up and then we'll go from there. Alright, so I got already about maybe an inch of it started. This camera's a pain in the ass trying to hold in the car and do it at the same time, so I had to get a tripod for the outside. Basically I started right here at the end with a little slip knot, tighten it down, and what I'm doing is just little half hitches, one by one. I'm offsetting them a little each time, and what I'll do is I'll create a spiral pattern around the steering wheel. I'll film a couple here, get you started, and I'll see if I can reposition the camera to a better angle, hopefully get you a better view. But right here, just basically have this loop. I'll show you how I get that loop. I'm coming around the steering wheel, grabbing the excess, and then just pulling it all through, making a half hitch. This is not, it holds decently, like if I was to let go after I tighten it down. But from there I just made just wrapping around once, the steering wheel once, hooking that loop and then pulling it back. Tighten it down and then pulling it back on itself. And then what it does each time is, as you can see, I can let go and it holds pretty good. I use the clamp just as a precaution, just because I don't want it loosening up. The tighter you keep it, you don't want to feel that slipping of it when you're riding. But again, so tighten it down, offsetting the loop here, just grabbing a piece of it, flipping the loose end over the top, coming back under and then through itself, pull it through. I think right now I'm using 20 feet of paracord for this. I think that'll be more than enough, but if it's not, I'll let you know. And if I have a bunch of excess, I will try to note how much it took. The last one I did was a different wrap, so you know, if you're doing a different pattern, it's not necessarily going to be the same length of rope needed to do whatever wrapping design you want. So again, I'm just offsetting it a little, tightening it down nice and tight, taking the loose end, throwing it over, and then coming through that loop. Nice and easy. Get a little bit further and I'll see if I can get a better angle on the camera, and then go from there. Alright, so I got just shy of halfway, maybe a third way done. I did not like the pattern it was making. I think it's because I was trying to do a half hitch here, and instead I should have just been doing an overhand knot. So what I'm doing is just backing out. Not a big deal. I'm just going to back out and then go with overhand knot instead, which should actually make it go a little quicker. So probably get done in just about the same amount of time. Although I do think the 20 feet might be too short, because I probably was about a third way and had only maybe 6 feet of cord left. So I'm gonna back out, start over, and then when I get to that point to where I'm probably gonna have to add cord, I'll show you what to do there, because it's too short, I do have 1,000 feet of cord. This is just one that I was trying to salvage, but I can use that. It's time to show you how to get around that obstacle if you happen to come across it. So let me finish getting this unwrapped, and then I will start with the overhand nut. All right, so here we go. Back to the last half hitch, which I actually started it right, and then I don't know what happened to where I switched from just an overhand to a half hitch. The half hitch actually looked okay, but then when I got about here, I guess probably because of the angle, I kind of just switched over to the overhand, and I don't know, I was much more fond of the style the overhand looked like it was making. So let me back this out here and see if I can get this pattern going right. So it should just be, so it came over, tied it down on itself, and instead of coming through and then pulling back away, I'm just going to be pulling straight through. Now let's see if this does it. It should. Tighten down, and yeah, so just making the overhand. So again, I'm just going to hold it here then and pull the cord straight through as opposed to back and into itself. This will actually probably make it a little bit more smoother too, and not as rigid. If you want the extra traction that the half hitch would make, I mean, you can do that. It's going to be close to the same pattern, just I'm not pulling the cord back on itself. So let me get going. I'll get about halfway and then switch back and see how it's looking, and then also get a better guesstimate of how much cord I'm going to be short, because I am probably going to be short cord. And I mean, maybe I might have been way off. Might have needed like 40 feet, but I'll try to let y'all know. All right, so you see the overhand knot, this pattern. I definitely like it a lot better, and it feels nice, smooth. This isn't too disturbing or noticeable on your hand. The ridge is nice and tight. I mean, this thing is like rock solid. I'm gonna stop right here. I got about halfway, I'd say, and maybe a foot and a half of paracord left. So I'm gonna grab my other one up there. I'm gonna fuse the ends together. I'll show you how to do that, and then finish up the primary wrap on the wheel. All right, I get set up. All right, so I was gonna fuse this, but I'm worried that I'm gonna be tightening it down so much that it might pop it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna continue this wrap, and then when I get down shorter, when I get to the back side here, I'll probably just put in a overhand knot and connect the two ends of rope. I think in the long term that'll be have more integrity than just trying to fuse the two ends of the rope together. But I think I got another, let me see, looks like about 10-12 feet of paracord that should be enough, but I've also said before, so we'll see how it goes. I'm going to continue wrapping the cord just with doing my overhand knot here, so coming down around back through, and then when I get this guy, when I get this path to the back of the wheel, I'll join the two ends. So let me keep going here. I'll probably do it now. That way I can manipulate a little better in the front. Should get one more pass. Probably just do a square knot, see how that feels in the back there. Easier without the tension. Alright, so that's tied together. And I'm just gonna cut the ends off of that. Don't use the plastic, use the metal part to rub it down flush. And you can actually kind of heat up the knot and it'll melt, kind of fuse itself all together, a little more secure than just doing the ends. So I'm hoping this is going to end up right about here, which would be, I think, unless you're looking for it, you're not going to notice it. But again, I messed up. I misjudged the length of rope I was going to need. So you know you need more than 20. I'm probably looking at least 30 feet of rope, and I'm not even, that's not for the whole wheel, that's just for the that's just going to be for the top section that I'm doing. Yeah, this is going to work out. So this is just behind the back. If it wasn't, then I would just, you know, cut it and adjust it accordingly. And cut it short and add my knot earlier. Oh, might be off. I am off. So I'm gonna mark it right here and tie it off there instead. So no worries. You just snip, snip. Alright, so what I did here is I just did another overhand knot, a little slip knot. Let's see if I can show you. Back it out. Just did a little slip knot, and I fed it back through. And down here I fed the loose end of this one through. Okay, so let me tighten it down on it. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to keep tying over these instead of even having to clip the ends. So I'm just going to keep going with the overhand knot and tie these down with it, and that should actually end up making it really tight and not having to worry about any cutting and fusing the ends together or anything like that. So that's pretty much it. Back here, I left the last few wraparounds a little loose, and then I took the excess end, strung it through the 1, 2, 3 at the end, clipped off the excess, and then you take the lighter, burn it down to fuse it, and then use the metal part of the lighter to smooth it out. That way it's not going to cut your fingers. You barely notice it driving right here. This one's a little rough. You don't want the lighter to sit on it too long, because that, smooth it out. Now I'll go back over with a Sharpie. From the front you can't see it at all, but I'll know it's there and that'll bother me. Give me a minute and I'll flip the camera around so you can see the finished product from the front. That's pretty much it. Again, back here, right, I mean, you can tell it's a little thicker. I probably won't notice it all driving. If I do, I'll rewrap it. Now that I got the pattern down, it probably won't take too long, maybe 30 minutes for the whole steering wheel. Again, it was my first time doing this wrap, so I wasn't sure on the length, and I think the overall length is going to be about 40 feet. I go with 50 just to be cautious. Once you get to 100 feet of paracord, it becomes quite a nuisance trying to wrap it all. But let me grab the camera, I'll spin it around here so you can see what the finished product looks like. And there you have it. I'll probably come back and do a different pattern of blue here, or maybe on the lower part of the wheel, just to give it a little more accent and get that, you know, thin blue line thrown in there. But that's it. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll try to answer them the best I can. Alright, so here we go, finished product. I went ahead and just kept the overhand stitching going. I like the look of it. I started near the black, same way as I did with the, I started the black one, and on the back end you can see the two slip knots. And I just kept the pattern going all the way around. Tied off here the same way I did up here. So I left some slack, then fed the end through, then tightened them all down and tightened itself down. And then cut and melted the end there. Same on this side.